safe to say that modern women's mindset is absolutely delulu. I mean, these women call themselves entrepreneurs and business owners when they are OF content creators. That's for one. And you would also agree if I would say that their spirit is something like this.
Good women are dead. Evil bitches, rise up!
These women actually believe that a man is supposed to spoil them just because they are used to their daddy spoiling them.
My dad spoiled me to death and still does to this day. If I call that man right now and tell him I need some money, it's going to be my cash
these
out
women.
in 10 minutes. So you think I'm going to go from that to being in a relationship with a man who don't do nothing for me?
Since nobody is picking these women, they turn around and actually say,
men are more delusional than women.
Just to make a whole bunch of content about the qualities they want their man to have. But they call you guys delusional.
You know what my problem is? I want a man who is super romantic, opens all my doors and from the hood, but made it out the hood. Started with no money and now he's a billionaire. He never yells at me. Is that too much to ask for?
And with that being said, everybody, happy Sunday and welcome back to another video on my beautiful channel with my beautiful audience, which is you. So thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for all of the engagements in the comment section, the likes and the comments, the motivational words, the inspiring words. I had somebody telling me, thank you for your channel and everything you do all the way from Nigeria. So thank you all so much. And today we are going to discuss about women who are again blaming men and telling them that men have way too delusional expectations on women nowadays. And to me personally, this sounds like an excuse because they are looking for explanations and reasons why men are not picking them nowadays. And now it's your fault. It's your fault because you just want too much. You demand too much. You're asking for too much without wanting to put in any effort. How dare you? Let's dive in.
Hey ladies. One time I told a dude that when I get married, I want someone who is going to provide for me and pay all of these bills. Duh. He said something to the effect of, you don't want a man, you want a dad. You must not have a dad ever, blah, 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 blah. No, sir. I do have a dad. That's why I want that.
Well, honey, I guess, and I suggest to you that you're going to have to stay with your dad if that is the type of treatment that you are looking for, because men are done. Men are over women who are expecting the queen treatment, the princess treatment, just to exist and not do anything at all. And with that being said, I'm going to have to tell you that your dad is probably going to be the only one and the last one who's paying your bills, who's sending you money on your Cash App, just because you are asking for it, just because you are requesting it. And you know what the problem with women and this type of mindset is? Just because everything is handed to them, they think they deserve it. They deserve it because they have never worked for anything. They don't know what it means to actually put in hard work, which is also a reason why they will never appreciate your work. So if you're going out there, you're working 12 hours, 14 hours to pay her bills, to afford her lifestyle, she's not going to appreciate anything you do because that's just what she is used to. A huge red flag.
My dad spoiled me to death and still does to this day. If I call that man right now and tell him I need some money, it's going to be my cash out within the next 10 minutes. So you think I'm going to go from that to being in a relationship with a man who don't do nothing for me? Does that make sense to you?
Well, it makes a whole bunch of sense if she asked herself the question, why am I still single? Why is nobody ready to date me? Why is nobody fulfilling my criteria? But sweetheart, all you are explaining are all of the reasons why men are running away from women like you. Ask yourself, why is a man supposed to pay everything for me? Your father is your father. He wants to spoil you as his daughter. He loves you. He adores you. He wants to do all of these things for you, but just because your father is doing it, you do not have the right to expect all of that from another man. A man has to vet you first. He has to make sure that you have wifey qualities. And if you have the type of mindset of, I'm gonna just take it, I'm just take everything without doing anything for it, just because I'm a woman, that's the wrong type of mindset, I'm telling you. And take this advice from me as a woman of being married for 16 years. You need to grow up or go look for a sugar daddy.
It makes sense. That's what a man is supposed to do, in my opinion. Now, if that's not how you feel, that's completely okay. There are plenty of women out here on the earth who do not believe that a man's job in a relationship is to protect and provide. Go find one of them and do whatever it is that dummies do when they get together. But if you want to be over here, it's gonna cost you something, sir.
And of of course, last but not least, here comes the insult. But you know what, guys? That is one of the main problems with these modern women nowadays. They are convinced that if a woman is submitting to her man, contributing to the household, and supporting her man, that she automatically has a low IQ. Meanwhile, she's the one brushing through that hair like it's actually hers. Let's move on to the next young lady who believes that men just want to take advantage of women while being too controlling. Oh, I love these women.
What kinds of things are men expecting out of women these days?
Cooking, cleaning. They want the things that their mom do for them. They want a girl who will clean up after them and help them achieve their goals and support them without asking for anything in return.
Would you mind if I just point out the hypocrisy real quick? So the first lady said she wants to have a man that spends money on her, sending her money, paying her bills, just like her dad is doing because he spoiled her to death. But then a man is not allowed to request a woman to cook for him, to clean for him, to be supportive, like a mother would do. Do you see that? So what are we talking about here? Besides that, are women like myself really the only ones on this planet who actually enjoy cooking, who enjoy cleaning, who enjoy even tidying up after a man? So what, we're tidying up all day anyway. But you know what? We take pride in doing these things. I know that traditional women in this modern world are so much more valuable than women with a career, with a boss babe mindset.
What are some immediate red flags that tells you or indicates that that's the type of man you'd be dealing with?
When they try to control what I wear. Yeah, when they put down other women in front of me. When they're like, oh, look at what she's wearing. Look at what she's doing. I don't want to hear that.
So basically, she does not want to hear the truth and she does not want to be protected. If a man says something about his woman's outfit, which 9 times out of 10 is probably going to be way too revealing, then he's not doing this because he's trying to control you. He's trying to save you from unwanted attention. He's trying to save you from unwanted situations. Do you know how many men get in trouble because they have to save their partners from other men grabbing them because they're too revealing outfits? Y'all don't get this. A man is not trying to be controlling when he's talking about your outfit. I would be offended. I would be offended if my husband would let me walk around looking like a streetwalker. And if you're thinking showing off your booty has something to do with being confident, you got it all twisted.
All right, do you have any relationship advice that you want to leave for the people?
Never chase a man, chase bag. Let the men come to you. Never go for a man unless they make your life better.
Let me translate that for you guys real quick. So she basically said, do not worry about my past. Do not worry about my body count. Do not worry about the fact that I'm a single mother. And if you want to have a piece of this, you better pay to play, baby.
I'm going to stand by this. And I'm learning as I get older that men are more delusional than women. Men are way more delusional than women. And that's how a lot of us get tricked. Because the delusion for them is reality as well. So they really think these things is true about themselves and who they are and what they got going on.
Well, at least she's admitting that women are delusional because she keeps saying that men are more delusional. But with all due disrespect, young lady, aren't it us women who are pretending that we are boss babes just because we have a job paying our own bills? Isn't it us who wake up looking like we have a role in the Tales from the Crypt just to put on tons of makeup, just to put on body shape enhancing clothing, walking outside of our apartments pretending that is really us? Isn't that us being delusional like that?
$10,000 in here. We have $10,000 in the backside. You know, we have around $20,000. So, yeah, money, baby.
But in real life, they just delusional. So take what these men say with a grain of salt, ladies. Don't get tricked, because that's how they trick us. And they don't mean to trick you, because they really believe these things. They're really not trying to trick us. They're just delusional. That's all. They have a delusion of themselves. That's all.
You know what amazes me about women like this that make this type of content? They never elaborate. They never have examples for what they are saying. All they do is just repeat the words without getting into details, without telling us what they are really talking about. But you know why that is? Because they have no idea what they are talking about. And then you got other women just liking these posts. There are posts like this with hundreds and hundreds of thousands views and likes. And it seems like Dumb and Dumber are talking to each other and they're just having a great time. Because at the end of the day, all of that these women are doing is just giving each other advice that keeps them happily single until they realize they are not as happy as they thought they would be. So they break down in their cars and they start crying. How many women are getting a divorce? Then they end up feeling upset and feeling some type of way about the fact that their ex is moving on, because these women thought that their ex was going to be shattered, that his world was going to be completely going to poop, going to shit because the woman has left them. Little do these women know that these men who have their careers, who make their money, who 9 times out of 10 look better than the woman who has left the man, is going to have an easy and quick time finding another woman. And there is nothing in this world that shatters a woman's ego more than that. So guys, that is it. That is the last video of this week. I hope you guys will be able to enjoy the rest of your weekend. Make sure you have a great start into your new week. Make sure you stay safe in these streets. As I always say, tune for more content. And the day is coming closer and closer that I will be going to see my husband in America. I cannot wait to deliver tons of content, that if he's comfortable being in front of the camera. But we will see. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you so much for all of the love that you show. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't, make sure you do hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, that share button, and all of the other buttons that you will find. I'm just kidding. Thank you all so much. Make sure you catch me on the next video.